Hello students, next we are going to do theorem. If W1 and W2 are subspaces of finitely generated vector space V over F, then dimension of W1 plus W2 is equals to dimension of W1 plus dimension of W2 minus dimension of W1 intersection W2. That is number of elements in the basis of W1 plus W2 is equals to number of elements in the basis of W1 plus number of elements in basis of W2 minus number of elements in basis of W1 intersection W2. Proof: we know that if W1 and W2 are subspaces of V, then W1 intersection W2 is also subspace of W1 and W2. So let B equals to x1, x2 and so on xr is basis of W1 intersection W2. So because it is basis, therefore it is linearly independent. So it means B is linearly independent in W1 because W1 intersection W2 is subset of W1. So therefore B is linearly independent in W1 means B can be extended to a basis B1 of W1. So let B1 equals to x1 x2 xr comma y1 y2 ym is basis of W1. That is, we extend the basis B to B1 of W1. So dimension of W1 is R plus M, that is x1 x2 up to xr R elements, y1 y2 up to ym m elements. So dimension of W1 is R plus M. Similarly, B2 x1 x2 xr comma z1 and so on up to zn is basis of W2. So as before, dimension of W2 is equals to R plus N. Now claim B dash equals to x1 x2 up to xr comma y1 y2 up to ym comma z1 z2 up to zn is basis of W1 plus W2. So for proving basis, we have to prove two conditions. First, linear span of B dash is equals to W1 plus W2. So for this, let x belongs to capital W1 plus W2. It means x can be written as small w1 plus small w2 for some small w1 belongs to capital W1 and small w2 belongs to capital W2. Next, now W1 belongs to capital W1 which is equals to linear span of B1 because B1 is basis of W1. So let W1 is equals to summation alpha xi I going from 1 to R plus summation beta I yi I going from 1 to M. Similarly, W2 belongs to W2 which is equals to linear span of B2 because B2 is basis of W2. So let W2 equals to summation gamma I xi I going from 1 to R plus summation I going from 1 to N delta I zi where alpha I, beta I, gamma I, delta I belongs to F. Now x equals to W1 plus W2. So put the values of W1 and W2 we get this is equal to summation I going from 1 to R alpha I plus gamma I into xi plus summation beta I yi plus summation delta I zi which belongs to linear span of B dash because it is linear combination of xi's, yi's and zi's. So therefore linear span of B dash equals to W1 plus W2. Next we have to show that B dash is linearly independent. So for this let summation alpha xi plus summation beta yi plus summation gamma zi equals to 0 where alpha beta gamma belongs to F. So it means summation alpha xi plus summation beta yi is equals to summation minus gamma zi which can be written as summation 0 xi plus summation minus gamma zi. Now left hand side is combination of xi's and yi's, therefore it is element of W1. Right hand side is also combination of xi's and zi's, so it is element of W2. But because both are equal, it means both are in W1 as well as in W2. Therefore these are elements of W1 intersection W2. So it means I can write summation minus gamma I zi belongs to W1 intersection W2 which is the linear span of B because in the first slide B is the we have taken B as a basis of W1 intersection W2. It means summation minus gamma is zi can be written as summation delta xi I going from 1 to n where xi belongs to B basis of W1 intersection W2 where delta belongs to F. So it implies summation delta xi plus summation gamma zi equals to 0. So this is the combination of xi's and zi's. It means these are the elements. This element is linear combination of the elements of B2. B2 is basis, therefore it is linearly independent. Means delta is 0 and gamma is 0 for all I. So it implies I get gamma I equals to 0. So let us in the previous slide. So this minus gamma is zi is 0. So therefore the left hand side of the last equation is 0. Summation alpha xi plus summation beta yi equals to 0, because I have proved summation minus gamma zi is 0, because each gamma is 0. So therefore summation alpha xi plus summation beta yi is 0. Again xi's and yi's form b1. B1 is basis of w1, therefore it is linearly independent. It means each alpha is 0, beta is 0. So therefore b dash is linearly independent. So therefore b dash is basis of w1 plus w2. Now dimension of b dash is r plus n plus m, because it contains x1 x2 up to xr r elements, y1 y2 yn n elements, z1 z2 zm m elements. So dimension of b dash is r plus n plus m, which can be written as r plus n plus r plus m minus r. Now this r plus n was dimension of w1, r plus m dimension of w2, minus this r is dimension of w1 intersection w2. This proves the theorem. Next theorem: if V is finitely generated vector space over field F, then any two bases of V have same number of elements. That is, any two bases of a finitely generated vector space has same number of elements. So for this proof, let b1 equals to x1 x2 and so on xm, and b2 equals to y1 y2 up to yn be two bases of V over F. Let us see b1 x1 x2 up to xm, and b2 y1 y2 and so on up to yn be two bases. So we have to prove m equals to n. Suppose not, that is m is not equal to n. So without loss of generality, suppose m is greater than n. Now x1 belongs to V, because it is the element of the basis b1. So it means x1 belongs to V. So V is linear span of b2, because b2 is basis. So it means x1 can be written as linear combination of elements of b2. Similarly, x2 can be written as linear combination of elements of b2, and so on. xm can be written as linear combination of elements of b2. So let x1 is beta 1 1 y1 plus beta 1 2 y2 and so on beta 1 n yn. x2 equals to beta 2 1 y1 plus beta 2 2 y2 plus so on beta 2 n yn, and so on. xm equals to beta m1 y1 plus beta m2 y2 and so on beta mn yn. Call this set as equation 1, where beta ij belongs to F. Next, consider equations beta 1 1 z1 plus beta 2 1 z2 and so on plus beta m1 zm equals to 0, beta 1 2 z1 plus beta 2 2 z2 plus and so on beta m2 zm equals to 0, and so on beta 1 and z1 plus beta 2 and z2 and so on beta mn zm equals to 0. Now these are n equations, because in the first equation it starts from beta 1 1, second equation starts from beta 1 2, last equation starts from beta 1 n. So these are n equations in m variables z1 z2 zm, and in the previous slide I have taken m greater than n, means number of equations are less than number of variables, because m is greater than n. So we have number of equations less but number of variables more. It means these have non-zero solution, that is there exist k1 k2 and so on km not all zero, such that beta 1 1 k1 plus and so on beta m1 km equals to 0, and so on beta 1 n k1 plus and so on beta mn km equals to 0. In the above equations I replace z1 by k1, z2 by k2 and so on. Now multiplying first equation by y1 in the previous slide, so this first equation beta 1 1 k1 and so on beta m1 km, I multiply it by y1. Similarly the second equation by y2 and so on last equation by yn, and adding vertically I get k1 into beta 1 1 y1 plus beta 1 2 y2 and so on beta 1 n yn plus and so on km into beta m1 y1 plus and so on beta mn yn equals to 0. Now use equation 1. In equation 1 the coefficient of k1 is x1. Clearly let us see the set 1. In set 1 this x1 is beta 1 1 y1 plus beta 1 2 y2 and so on beta 1 n yn. So the coefficient of k1 becomes x1. Similarly coefficient of km becomes xm. So k1 x1 and so on km xm equals to 0, where ki are not all 0. In the previous slide I have taken ki, k1, k2 and so on not all 0. So it means k1 x1 plus and so on km xm is 0, where ki's are not all 0. It means b1 is linearly dependent, but b1 is basis, therefore this is not possible, so which is a contradiction. So therefore m equals to n. Thank you.